The RCWR Show with Lee Sanders is intended for a mature audience only. The following is an Infinity One Productions presentation, keeping it honest, insightful, and interactive. Covering the latest in wrestling and beyond since 2011. You're listening to the RCWR Show. Now, your host, live from the nation's capital in Washington, D.C., Lee Sanders.
Hey, what's good, y'all? Lee Sanders here. Special Saturday night edition of the RCWR Show. March 20th, 2021. You guys got to forgive me in advance. I'm not my usual energetic self, so this is probably going to be a bit sluggish tonight. Reason being, if you guys had checked out the shows from earlier this week, y'all know that Friday I had to go get my first COVID shot. Can't stress it enough. I'm not going to be all long-winded with that again. But, hey, when it's your turn, you get that opportunity, take it, get that shot. But if you're staying connected to me on social media, you guys know I've been dealing with a little bit of side effects that has been associated for some in taking the vaccine. Not everybody is going to have the same symptoms, obviously, but the common thread of the symptoms that I've been having since I gotten the first shot, I've been dealing with a little bit of nausea, tired, joint pains, headache, little bit of numbness. It hasn't been good. So I've been sleeping a lot. Today was actually my first day back to work. And let me tell you something. Long story short, had no business being at work. No business being at work, especially when all you're pretty much doing is using one arm to pretty much do everything. And man, one of my supervisors was very observant. They noticed I was only using one hand. And they were like, what's going on? Why are you using only one hand? And I told them what was going on. And they said, man, ouch. When'd you get this shot? I told them. We're like, so how you really feeling? I'm like, honestly, like I'm feeling about 60%. I definitely feel like I shouldn't be here. So, you hear some employers, they're doing a cool thing where they're giving their employees about 2, maybe 3 days off. So, yeah, I can't stress it enough. Be prepared. Be prepared. You may want to just be on the safe side. If your job is cool like that, you may want to see if you can definitely get 24 hours just to see what's going on with your body and everything. And if everything is good, go back to work the next day. But luckily, I don't have to deal with work again until Tuesday. So by then, I should definitely be good to go here. So yeah, apologies in advance because I'm really not my usual energetic self here. But we're going to keep this real short and simple tonight. I only want to talk about the WWE Fastlane card, offer my thoughts, predictions, everything that's to come for this pay-per-view event. And then we're pretty much going to roll out, right? We're going to try to do a double dose for you guys this Sunday. I know the NWA is going to be doing their pay-per-view. That's going to be starting at about 4 p.m. Eastern. So I'm definitely going to be checking that out. And I will be covering Fallout from that event. It should not interfere with Fastlane. Fingers crossed it does not. But it really shouldn't. I think NWA's card is going to be a little bit short. But yeah, we're going to do a double dose. We'll cover the NWA pay-per-view Fallout, and then later on in the night, same night, going to cover Fastlane Fallout. So pretty good night for wrestling fans, I would have to say. So Fastlane. This is the first WWE pay-per-view event that's going to be streaming on the new NBC Peacock. I gotta ask you guys yet again, I'm not trying to sound like a nagging freaking teacher that you guys just despise and you can't wait to get out of their class. And I'm not talking about anybody in particular, not throwing any shade at anybody, but I'm not trying to be that nagging parent, but did you guys sign up for WWE Peacock yet? For those of you that did sign up for Peacock, I'm not talking to you. You guys are good, especially if you had took advantage of that nice little special sales promotion that's going on right now. I had mentioned it all this week on the shows, and it looks like WWE slash NBC Peacock decided to extend it yet again. The cutoff was actually supposed to be on the 18th, but it looks like they're extending it a little longer. If you still have not signed up for NBC's Peacock, you're getting a special deal right now. Cutoff was pretty much, or last day was on the 18th, but it looks like it's been extended. If you go to WWE's website directly, you'll see a nice little plug for them being now on Peacock. And when you click on the banner, it takes you directly to a Peacock launch page. You got Roman Reigns on the splash page. And they're offering you the WWE Network on Peacock for just $2.50 a month. It's a 50% discount for a limited time. So they're going to charge you the 4 months at one time, which comes to $9.99. After taxes, it's going to be $10.69. After that 4-month trial ends, you're going to be paying $4.99 a month. If you still have not taken advantage of that, do that. I don't know how much longer that's going to last, because officially cutoff date was supposed to be on the 18th, but looks like it's extended longer. So make sure you take advantage of that. But this is going to be the very first WWE pay-per-view event on Peacock. And you know that with this new deal that WWE has been able to strike with NBC Universal, they gotta be coming now guns blazing. They gotta be hitting a freaking home run. This pay-per-view, of all the pay-per-views, I mean, we ain't talking about, no, let's do something really cool, kick-ass, like in Saudi Arabia. I'm not talking about that kind of, this is on a different level altogether. And I feel that this first pay-per-view on Peacock is going to be very detrimental to the further enhancement in the relationship between WWE and NBC Universal. It is imperative that WWE hits a home run with this pay-per-view. Anything less would be epic failure. It would definitely have, I personally feel, I wouldn't, because I am one of those type of people that would definitely take my time, look at the grander picture, and wait a little bit and just build off of the portfolio that we would have within a 3, 6, 9 month time span. However, anything less than hitting a home run this Sunday, I promise you there's going to be a lot of podcasters. There's going to be dirt sheets. There's going to be websites that's all going to be reporting epic fail for this first pay-per-view on Peacock. So it is imperative that WWE goes into this saying, okay, we got a clean base here. NBC Universal, Peacock, first pay-per-view. All right, what are we doing? Anything that normally would just, yeah, let's go with that. They have to go in. They've got to double, triple cross-reference. Make sure, okay, is this really what we want to put on here? This is really what we want to put on here. We sure we want to go with this? They got to make sure it's popping. You need some surprises. You need some heavy hitters. You need all the works. You got to bring all your fireworks. You got to bring all your ammo to this one. Again, anything less, be an epic failure. So now the question, am I confident that WWE is going to be able to deliver with Fastlane? Yeah. I actually, I'm a little bit leery, but overall, I feel WWE is definitely going to be able to hit a home run with this one. Let's look at this card that we got coming up on Sunday here. We got about 7 matches as it stands right now for Saturday night, March 20th, 2021. We've got Riddle defending the United States Championship against Mustafa Ali. Now, we've seen these two collide a little bit off and on within recent weeks on WWE programming, and now these two guys are coming ahead once again. This go around, it's going to be for the United States Championship. As we've seen on WWE programming for the past couple of weeks, Mustafa Ali and his Retribution stable, they've been picking up some key L's, and we've been seeing a bit of turmoil that's been happening as a result of these key defeats. So you kind of are looking at this and you're saying, kind of appears that the writing is on the wall for Retribution. How soon before Retribution is no more, and we basically have this stable implode from within? A lot of us have been waiting for this patiently. We have. Do I feel that as far as Fastlane goes, Fastlane is going to be the night where Ali and Retribution, everything comes to a head? I'm not really sure. I still kind of have the vibe that things will really come colliding at WrestleMania. It just feels to me, look, I would love it if it could wrap up at Fastlane. I really, really would personally. But I just don't see that happening. I feel as though this is going to get milked out for all it's worth, that this is just going to, just picture that nice wet towel, right? You got a dry towel at first, you go over to the sink, you turn that water on, and you're drenching the hell out of it, you're getting it all nice and soaked up, and then you just go on over, use that same towel, and you're wiping down your car. And you're just wiping it down. Eventually, that water in that towel, it's going to run out. You're going to run out. No matter how many times you keep squeezing that towel, putting some more water on that car and wiping it down at the same time, eventually there isn't going to be any more water to work with. You're going to be wringing it out to that last drop. WWE in this case is wringing the hell out of that Retribution angle for all that it's worth, every single drop. They know that a few months ago, they really should have taken that towel and they really should have dumped it in the sink, put some more water in there, clean it, kind of put themselves in a nice position where they can start fresh. But no, they're just continuing to use that same towel. By now, it's got some mildew and other stuff, whatever. It smells funny by now, that towel. But you get the analogy. I would like for things to conclude with Retribution at Fastlane, but I just don't see it happening, guys. I don't. I think as far as things go between Riddle and Mustafa Ali, you also got to apologize me in advance because I'm going to be drinking a lot more water here. That's another one of those slight side effects, a little bit dehydrated. So I'm going to say, it would be interesting if on the road to WrestleMania, you had Mustafa Ali win the United States Championship through some type of fuckery. But then you have to bring up the question, well, what's going on with New Day? Are they maybe going to play some type of a factor here? Because New Day, by all accounts, is not on this card. So, and remember what we've been seeing with New Day in a couple of weeks there. It kind of seems like there's a nice little buddy chum thing going on there. So, could you maybe count on Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods to make some type of a cameo Sunday, trying to help out their boy Riddle? Could be. Could be. But the numbers game is more on the side of Retribution. So, I think just to keep things a little bit interesting, especially on the road to WrestleMania, and to further advance the storyline here between Ali, Retribution, Riddle, I think you need to flip the script. I think you need to go on ahead and you need to put the United States Championship on Ali. Because honestly, after this, just in storyline, if he were to lose, and just think about the temperament and storyline that Ali has been having when he or members of Retribution have been picking up dubs, and how frustrated he is, the trash talking that he's been giving. you just get to that point where you go, okay, when is enough enough? When are we going to be done with this berating from this guy? And just, okay, you know what? I'm wiping my hands clean off of you. I'm done. So I think they keep things a little bit interesting here just to shake it up and so that it's not continuing to be stale. Further advance the story arc, Ali going over Riddle, new United States champion. Shinsuke Nakamura taking on Seth Rollins. Jesus, this feels like such a random match. You guys got to forgive me because I have not been watching SmackDown. I think I probably have missed the past 2 SmackDowns. I was looking forward to checking out SmackDown on Friday night, but with the shot and all, I was doing a lot of sleeping. I was doing a lot of sleeping Friday night. And then I also, when I wasn't sleeping, I actually had watched the first couple episodes of WandaVision on Disney Plus. I'll offer my thoughts about that show on Monday's RCWR Show. And I also had checked out the first 6 episodes of the very first season of Cobra Kai. And it was nice. It was nice. It was nice to just kick back with the missus, just get lost, enjoying each other's company, watching some really good television. Nice to do one of those rare nights where you're not doing wrestling. You know what I'm saying? You can't be on the wrestling 24/7. You know what I mean? And thanks, Just Chatting. Appreciate the kind words. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. And yeah, so I did not see SmackDown this past Friday night, but the very last thing that I remember seeing of Seth Rollins, he was trying to recruit Cesaro. He was explaining his whole portfolio and talking about how Cesaro hasn't been able to break that ceiling because he hasn't had someone like him guiding him along the way and everything. I mean, that was like the last thing I remember seeing of Seth Rollins. So I can't help but look at this thing here with Seth Rollins, and just from the little bit of notes that I was able to gather about this kind of feels a little bit random. It kind of feels like this match was just put together here. It seems. I mean, let's go back. I mean, February 19th episode of SmackDown. Remember, Cruz had lost to Shinsuke Nakamura. Big E was commentating on that episode. Cruz had attacked Nakamura after the match, but Big E had came to Nakamura's rescue. And then that would set up Cruz attacking Big E, taking him out for a couple of weeks. And then upon Big E returning, that's pretty much how you had those two guys pretty much just going at it and everything. But I mean, other than that, when you think about that whole Shinsuke Nakamura thing, the shit there with Rollins, we got to bring this kind of back full circle here. I'm hoping that if it hasn't happened already, look, if it's already happened on SmackDown, I'll have to rely on you guys. But if it hasn't happened already, then I think what would be kind of cool is if you went in the Fastlane Sunday and you got a backstage segment where Shinsuke Nakamura is getting ready to do this match against Seth Rollins, and Cesaro comes up to him and says, "Hey, I know you got to have this match next. You're going to go do this match against Rollins. Hey, you be careful. Remember, he's pretty slithery there, man." And, you can have Nakamura say, "Yeah, I know, but, he's no match for the King Sasha." And, Cesaro just says, "All right, that's what's up. Okay, well, I'll be back here rooting you on, man. Good luck out there." Be nice to see and hear something like that. I mean, they were together for such a long time and everything, so you can't just fuck him, I'm doing my thing, he's doing his thing, forget about it. You can't go in that direction, right? So as far as technical matches go, this should be, I think both men are definitely going to rise to the occasion on this one. I mean, just looking at the entire card for the night, easily on paper, this should be one of those matches that's going to have folks talking in a most positive way. But I am going to say I am going to say this should be interesting. See, there's two ways you can go with this, but for me, the end result would be the same. The end result would be the same. Part of me wants to give Nakamura the dub. And just imagine how much of oh man, he beat Seth Rollins. Holy, yeah, he beat a former WWE champion. Talk about an upset here. That would be kind of badass. Post-match, Rollins beats the crap out of Nakamura. Sore butthurt loser. Goes to town on him. Plan B, Seth Rollins defeats Nakamura. And showing a little bit of friendly gesture. Oh, he's coming off like he's trying to be a class act, that Rollins. Hey, that's very nice of him, offering to extend his hand, help Nakamura up. Oh, look, he's giving him the little nod there. He's giving him the little hand gesture of a good match there. Hey, that's good sportsman. Hey, what the hell is Seth Rollins doing? No. I mean, so there's another angle you could do with that. And thus, Cesaro comes out there, comes to the aid of his buddy Nakamura. Rollins pretty much makes his exit. So, two unique finishes, but post-match, same result. Man. Road to WrestleMania, right? I am going to go with... Oh, this is a tricky one. I'm going to go with Nakamura. We'll see how that pans out. I'm going to go with Nakamura. Alexa Bliss takes on... Actually, you know what? Let's come back to that one. Let's go to the women's tag match next. Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler with Reginald defending their women's tag titles against Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. Why do we keep doing this thing where there is tag titles involving Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair? Why do we keep going in this direction? I will say it yet again. I had said it a couple of weeks ago. These girls do not need these tag titles for this particular story arc that they're involved in. It's so fucking simplistic. It's not even funny. You've got the boss, the woman that, to pull one of my favorite rappers, Trina, Sasha Banks is essentially saying, I'm the baddest bitch. Meanwhile, you've got Bianca Belair. She is the EST, or the BST of WWE. There it is. It's built in just right there. That is truly the pinnacle of anything you can do, I can do better. So why we're doing this stuff here with the tag titles is beyond me. Just as I felt a couple of weeks ago, once again, you don't need these girls. They don't even need to be nowhere in this match for these titles. So look, I am going to say there's going to be a bit of unity going on here in this matchup. I could see them both being on the same page for a nice little bit, maybe like the first half of the match and everything. I could see there be a breakdown in miscommunications, though. I could see a breakdown in some miscues. I could see a little bit of unintentional little spot where, what the hell are you doing? Reginald, see, I think Reginald could play a part in this as well. Now, if I'm booking this, I wouldn't mind seeing a nice little spot here where Reginald still shows some type of affection for Sasha Banks. I don't know if you maybe do it in the form of Sasha Banks doing something on the outside of the ring. Shayna or Nia Jax preferably comes from off the ropes, charges lunges their full body weight at them, knocks Sasha off the apron, and Sasha pretty much falls into the arms of Reginald. There's no way you can just have Reginald just cold turkey on Sasha Banks. There's just no way. And maybe to a certain degree, you could kind of see that play to Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair's advantage a little bit. I think the real question you need to be asking yourselves here is, we've seen Nia Jax take somewhat of a liking to Reginald. But Reginald also has a liking for Sasha Banks. So the question you have to really ask yourself is, if you're the character Reginald in storyline here, who are you trying to please more? Are you more interested in helping the new team of Nia Jax and Baszler retaining their tag titles? Not necessarily new team, but are you more interested in the tag champs retaining their titles? Or are you more interested in truly professing your love to Sasha Banks and hoping that maybe in a screw job and helping them become tag champions, that would maybe find you back in the good graces of Banks and Belair? I like the latter part. I really do. Would WWE be thinking in that type of capacity, though? See, if you were to pull off these girls as new tag team champions, then essentially that's kind of the way you really should go about doing it. I don't see WWE being that savvy enough to go in that direction, sadly. I don't see that happening. So, keeping that in mind, how exactly do I see this playing out? I see Reginald being a factor here, for sure. I can still see some emotions there for Sasha Banks and everything. I can see him doing a little something there. I think when it's all said and done, there's going to be a serious miscue. Banks, Belair for the retain. I see something happening with Reginald post-match. I wouldn't be surprised if Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler took turns whooping up on that boy. But maybe it ends with Nia Jax giving Reginald a kiss on the forehead or something like that. Don't let that happen again. I wouldn't mind seeing some type of a nice little spot like that. But I got Jax and Baszler for the retain. All right, now we can go to that one match I was eyeballing there. Alexa Bliss taking on Randy Orton, intergender match. Obviously, this is a setup for The Fiend. I mean, no shit, right? So, obviously, they're going to go with some cinematic stuff. We're probably going to see some more black ooze coming from out of the mouth and all kinds of other fucking shit. Look, for me, what would be badass is just seeing Randy Orton somehow connect with a punt to the head of Alexa Bliss. And that just pretty much opens up the Pandora's box. Like, he don't done it now. He don't pissed off the evil gods and all that other shit. I'm just going to enjoy this for what it's worth, honestly. The stuff that Randy Orton, Alexa Bliss, The Fiend, the stuff that they've been doing, look, has it been on that supernatural level? Yeah. Hell yeah. Has it been on that Lucha Underground type of level, like Lucha Underground light level? Yes, it has. Has there been a lot of points in this story arc that's been pretty cheesy, kind of unbearable to watch? Yeah, definitely. But it's still one of the best. Say what you will. It's got its problems, I admit. But it's still one of the most intriguing story arcs that's running in WWE right now. So, keeping that in mind, I say to everybody, don't be too overcritical when it comes to this match slash segment. Just sit back, enjoy the ride for what it's worth. Enjoy how WWE is going to tell the story of a resurrected Bray Wyatt. Just enjoy it for what it's worth. I'm looking forward to it. I'm very curious to see how that's going to turn out. Oh, am I supposed to pick a winner in this one? Uh, I say the supernatural high wins. Honestly, I'm gonna go with uh fuckery and all that. I don't really think there's gonna be a winner, but if you gotta have me choose, I'm gonna say Bliss goes over, but I don't quite see a decisive victor coming out of this. That's just me. I just see a lot of sorcery and fuckery going on there. Sheamus taking on Drew McIntyre, no holds barred match. Look, not for nothing, these two killed the hell out of each other for a couple of weeks on WWE Raw. Okay, I saw them getting some love online and everything like that. For me, I pretty much was okay. I didn't particularly care for them. And here we are once again. No holds barred match. Look, again, I personally don't care. I really don't. I'm good. Should be entertaining though. It should definitely be entertaining. I mean, when you have these guys go out there for the past couple of weeks on WWE programming, and they've pretty much thrown everything at each other, and now you follow it up with something like this, the question you have to ask was just based off what you've seen from television, how in the hell are these two men really going to rise to the occasion in this no holds barred match and really truly top what they've done on TV within recent weeks? That's the biggest problem that they've got going on right now. So it should be a fun challenge for these men. I think they definitely will rise to the occasion on this one. I think for me, if I were to make a bold prediction, this definitely will be one of those sleeper matches of the night. I think this is going to be one of those matches where people normally don't care about Drew and Sheamus, let alone a Sheamus match. But a lot of people will walk away and say, no, you know what? What those boys had did at Fastlane actually was pretty damn good. I think they'll rise to the occasion. That's the sleeper hit match of the night as far as I'm concerned. Big E defends as far as winner, McIntyre. McIntyre, hands down. Big E defending the Intercontinental Championship against Apollo Crews. Been liking what's been going on with Apollo Crews in recent weeks. This is a very, very interesting dilemma right here. A very interesting, because Apollo Crews is really starting to come into his own, man. This is a hard one. Because if you went with Big E, then the question becomes, okay, so then what are you going to do with Big E for WrestleMania? If you're going to have him be your Intercontinental Champion going into WrestleMania, then what are you going to do exactly? You know, one idea I've been kind of playing around with the idea of inter-promotional match. I've been talking about it just loosely off and on this week. But I personally, really on social media, I haven't mentioned it on the shows, but I personally wouldn't mind seeing an inter-promotional matchup between Big E and Damian Priest, or Big E and Keith Lee. I think it would be a very, very damn good matchup. But just kind of looking at the SmackDown roster of things, do you maybe have Big E? Do you maybe have Big E go after Daniel Bryan? Or Big E, Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental Championship? There's a couple of different scenarios you can go there. But then what about Apollo Crews? Okay, so Apollo Crews, let's just say he loses in this matchup. Then it becomes, okay, well, all this buildup that you've done of Apollo Crews so far, now where exactly are you going? What's next? I see some type of fuckery happening here. I don't feel as though you need to have Big E just and I want to make sure I choose these next words carefully. It doesn't need to be a pinfall or submission to defeat Apollo Crews. It doesn't. I don't want to see Apollo Crews eat a pin or a submission. You still got to have there be some type of momentum on his side. So, I don't know if maybe a DQ or a count out, double count out. There needs to be something that goes on there where both men can still kind of remain intact. I can honestly see these guys continuing on for several weeks of WWE programming, to the point this is quietly becoming one of the best feuds on SmackDown too. I wouldn't be surprised if at this point you have these guys just take their thing going into Mania. As I always say on the show, the chase is better than the catch. So, a heel Apollo Crews as your Intercontinental Champion, Big E chasing after Apollo Crews for the IC title. I'm going to go with Apollo Crews. I'm going to go with Apollo Crews as your new Intercontinental Champion. I'm going to probably regret that, but let's see what happens there. Wait a minute. Think about this a little more here. Let me think about this a little more. No. Big E, that's final. Big E, still your Intercontinental Champion. Roman Reigns defends his WWE Universal Championship against Daniel Bryan with Edge as the special enforcer. First of all, how much of a factor is Jey Uso going to play in this, if at all? That's the first question. You know you got to put a Uso in there. So there's going to be a little bit of fuckery that's going to be going on. This is going to be the one match that's going to be the most surprising, because this could go a couple of different ways here. It really, really could. You know, I would love it if Daniel Bryan would become the new Universal Champion going into Mania, just with that nice little built-in storyline and everything. But then you got that Edge factor. I just kind of feel as though Edge, no matter what, is going to go into Mania and he's going to become the new Universal Champion. And I personally don't want that to happen, because I think unhinged Roman Reigns has been the best thing that's been going on in WWE, carrying the hell out of SmackDown, quite honestly. So, for me, you got to continue to stay with the white steady hand here. This is a tricky one. Yeah, guys, this is a tricky one. By the way, I can't believe that Lashley is not on the card defending his title. Very interesting. You know what? You know, if I was booking this match, you know what would be interesting? Final moments of this matchup. First of all, it's going to be a great back and forth between both men, but I could legitimately see multiple times where Daniel Bryan is perhaps coming pretty damn close to pulling an upset. And I can see Paul Heyman, for all that it's worth, trying to do his best, pulling his shenanigans at ringside and everything, and it's getting extremely testy with Edge and all that. I could see a lot. And I could just see at one point, Paul Heyman just decides, okay, you know what? I've had enough of this. It's getting too damn close to WrestleMania. Nah, fuck this. the Heyman Alliance is not going to be going out, not at no goddamn Fastlane. And I can just see Paul Heyman just throwing his hand up, come on, and yelling, get out here. We need you. Come on. I could just continue to see Paul Heyman doing that. And the commentators just going, who's he calling for? What the hell is going on here? And then maybe you could have, if Jey Uso hasn't come out by then it's Jey Uso. Jey Uso. I can see something happening there where maybe Edge is kind of like out of the equation a little bit there. And Jey Uso comes out. Jey Uso pretty much gets taken out of the equation. Maybe you can then have Jimmy come on out. Pretty much same thing happens. Paul Heyman has one last ace up his sleeve. And the one guy that does fucking come out, it's fucking Brock Lesnar. So Brock Lesnar giving an assistance there to Roman and everything. I could see something like that happening. I mean, just picture that visually. How badass would that be if Fastlane ends with Paul Heyman in the center there, and on one side he's got Roman Reigns, and on the other side he's got Brock Lesnar. It's a moment in WWE history like you never thought you would ever freaking see. That's how you have the fans walk away and just going, holy mother of fucking balls. What the hell did we just witness? And, the reason why you definitely got to mention Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar, his merchandise, everything was off the WWE website for several weeks. Fueled up the rumors there that maybe he was going to be heading on over to AEW as some people. I never thought that. My whole deal was, no, they're going to do something. WWE and Lesnar, they're going to work out some type of a deal with all the money they've been able to bring in these past couple of quarters and everything, and then doing this new deal with NBC Universal for Peacock. There's no way in hell you're going to let Brock Lesnar just fucking walk away. Nah, you're going to secure him when it counts the most. So, and quietly, Brock Lesnar has been added to the Raw roster page. So just imagine your Fastlane pay-per-view goes off the way I'm talking, and you pretty much have a carryover going into Monday Night Raw with Lesnar and Heyman. And essentially, who knows, maybe we can kind of put ourselves in a nice little position there where you got Brock Lesnar that's possibly jockeying for position of wanting to main event WrestleMania. Somehow you get the... Damn, do you really do that for free, though? Do you do that for free TV? Do you really put Drew McIntyre and Lesnar in a match against each other on Raw television? Anything can happen on the road to WrestleMania, right? So, but I would like to see it way. Now, let's just say, Lee, no Brock Lesnar, dog. It ain't happening officially. No Brock Lesnar. Now what? Brock or no Brock? I mean, yeah, there's going to be shenanigans and all that, but Brock or no Brock, I definitely see Roman still coming out as the new as the, retaining the Universal Championship. I still see that going down. I would love Daniel Bryan. I really, really would, but I just kind of feel like, I personally feel like Daniel Bryan right now would be better suited in elevating Big E and helping take Big E to that next level in his singles career and ultimately becoming a WWE World Heavyweight Champion. I kind of feel like DB, Big E, WrestleMania, I kind of feel like that's the way you should be going there. But yeah, that's how I'm looking at it there. All right. Take it from the bottom to the top once again. We got Riddle losing to Ali. Ali becoming your new United States champion. Nakamura versus Rollins. A little bit too close to call, but I'm going with Nakamura for the upset. Remember that stuff I was saying post-match, though. Alexa Bliss versus Randy Orton. I'm pretty much telling you guys, enjoy the ride for all it's worth. Either there's going to be a no contest or somehow Alexa Bliss picks up the dub. A little too murky for me to really call it there. Drew McIntyre over Sheamus for your no holds barred match. Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler retaining the women's tag titles. Remember what I said, though. If they were to lose it, remember what I said. Big E retaining his IC title over Apollo Crews. Did we already mention McIntyre and Sheamus? McIntyre for the dub for that no holds barred. And for your WWE Universal Championship, I'm going with Roman Reigns retaining the title. Remember, Edge is the special guest enforcer. So that's how I'm looking at Fastlane for this Sunday. That should be a pretty good event. Looking forward to it. They got to do all they can, put out all the stops. They got the right roster and everything. They just got to go in with some of their bookings. They got to go in smart and they got to go in strong. So we'll see how it plays out. Once again, for those of you that might have missed at the very beginning of the show, I'm doing a double whammy this Sunday. I'm going to be covering the NWA pay-per-view that's going to be happening on Fight TV. I'll cover a post show on that, and there will be a Fastlane post show after Fastlane wraps up. We'll be streaming that all throughout the usual outlets. Hey, shout out to our Patreon members. Remember, patreon.com/RCWR Show. That's the place you want to go to get yourself some exclusive content not available anywhere else. Shows, videos. Shout out to our Patreon members. Anthony DeBlasi, Don Tony, man, shout out to you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Shout out to Justin Ripstock, Gino Morgan, Freddie. Shout out to Michael Wolf, J.D. Davis. Shout out to you. Shout out to Tony Bean Gaming, one of the very latest in all things Marvel Strike Force, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, Marvel's Avengers for your tips, tricks, news, walkthroughs, reviews. Tony Bean Gaming, he is the man. Hey, did you guys enjoy this predictions preview? Call that match edition of the RCWR show. If you did, do me a huge favor and go out of your way. Make sure, if you haven't done so, you hit the like, subscribe, click that bell notification. When you click that bell notification, you can personalize your notification preference. If you want just personalized, all notifications. I see that there's a couple of you guys that are saying, hey, I didn't even know you were live. Hey, I didn't even know you put out something new and I'm subscribed to your channel. Make sure you're doing all of those things, man, because I don't want you guys to miss out, right? Because you get left in the cold when you miss out. You don't have it set up properly. Get at me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Use the keywords, the RCWR Show. And Patreon members, there's going to be a new Wrestling with the Topics that's going to be dropping Sunday for you guys. So check that out. There's also going to be a review for the, also on Patreon, there's also going to be a review for the Zack Snyder's Justice League cut. Zack Snyder's Justice League cut. So check that out. Also, it's already been rendered. It's uploaded to YouTube as we speak. It just needs to be scheduled as a premiere. Sunday, late morning, probably early afternoon, there's going to be a release for everybody to check out of the third part in our trilogy, the conclusion of our unboxing unveiling series. I'm going to be talking about, you've heard me all week long talk about that Kickstarter campaign from Todd McFarlane on his 1994 Spawn. He was revamping it, basically. You're going to finally get to see that. So make sure you check that out. Check out the other unboxing videos I did as well. All right, my friends, that is going to do it for now. Appreciate you all. Hopefully my energy will be a lot better going into tomorrow. Appreciate you guys that made it this far. Hopefully it wasn't too rough for you guys here tonight. But that's going to do it. I'm wishing all of y'all to be safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. I will see you guys next go round. Adios.